What's up, PTB Nation? Welcome to another episode of Parking the Bus here on the PTB Media Network. I am your host, the Mr. Mike Agustinu, here once again to talk football with you tonight. We're talking South American football, talking Brazilian football to be exact, or not to be exact, but to be more specific. We're going to spend a lot of time tonight in Brazilian football. Round 15 of the Brasileirão is in the books with the exception of one match. And by the time you watch this, that one match will most likely be completed or in progress. But at the time of recording, there's one match left to play. So we're going to break down this round 15 of the Brasileirão, my favorite league in South America, as you know by now. And as you know, it is always a joy to cover this league, talk about this league. There's always surprises every single weekend. You never know what's going to happen. This is always an up and down league, an up and down season for everybody. And this week is prime example of that, as we have big guns falling, little guys fighting, and some of the early leaders, if you will, some of the early front runners have fallen back to the pack, back to the peloton. Fixture congestion starting to set in. And Copa Libertadores, Copa Sudamericana coming up this week. We'll talk about that also tonight. And before this episode ends, we will hit Liga Argentina or Campeonato Argentino. I can never remember the name of the league in Argentina. It changes almost every season, but we will remember that. Okay, I mean, we will look at that, and we will take a look in Argentina and see what's going on, see who's leading. It's early still, but it'll be an interesting topic, no doubt. So we have an action-packed episode for you. Sit right there. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to start talking Brasileirão. This is a short 30-second break for those of you watching on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, of course, as you know, I am the Mr. Mike Agustinu. Go to the PTB Media Network's YouTube page right down there. Hit subscribe. Hit the little bell next to it so that you know when we are up, when we are live. Okay. Big shout out to everyone that tuned in last night, Sunday night's episode, the traditional Sunday night 8 p.m. show. Did a monster number for us on Periscope. Biggest number I have ever done. Doubles my previous number. Nearly 600 of you tuned in to watch live on Periscope. On Sunday night, I had Leo on from Better Than Vegas. As you know, he's the host of the Pitches and Pints show every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. on the BTV network on Better Than Vegas and on their Twitter feed as well. That's where you can watch it live afterwards. The show gets uploaded to their page. So go back and check it out if you haven't. It was great. We talked Leo Messi. We talked Euro leagues. We broke them down. We previewed them. And then we talked about utter nonsense for about 20 minutes. He dragged the show on. Something only he can do to get me so off topic and get me talking about anything but what we're here to talk about. But we had a good time. There was a lot of involvement from some of the listeners, from some of the viewers. We got some good feedback. And like I said, the show I'm shocked. The show did a real good number, and I'm blown away. And I'm so thankful to everyone who took some time out of their Sunday night to listen to a couple of us, a couple degenerates talk footy on a video podcast or on a podcast. If you're listening on the podcast, don't forget, subscribe on Apple, Spotify, on iHeartRadio, wherever you're listening. Okay, just hit the subscribe button wherever you're getting this podcast. If you're listening, okay, make sure you give a review as well on Apple Podcasts. Okay, it helps get Parking the Bus out to more people. Really struggling with the podcast side of it. I'm gonna be honest with you, doing well ever since we went to video, but it has hurt some of the download numbers. So if you are watching the video, please continue to subscribe to the podcast. Download it if you can. Delete it right away. That's all good with me if you've already seen it. But really enjoy. I really appreciate the support and hope that you can continue to support in that way. And we can continue to build this base and maybe set this thing up to bring you even more content and better content going forward. All right, quick break right here. Like I said on the podcast, you're getting an ad for everybody else. Okay, on video. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. This is Parking the Bus on the PTB Media Network. This is episode 69. And we're back here on Parking the Bus, episode 69. The Mr. Mike Agustinho here with you again on a Monday night this time, and we're talking Brasileirão to start. And I've got a cheat sheet here. There's been more news. Okay, it's that time of year where this is the time of year that the clubs in this league really dread, to be honest, as it is transfer season and players in this league, as you know, the European Sharks come around and they scoop them up. We've already seen this season. We've seen Gerson go to Marseille. We have seen Luan Perez go to Marseille as well. Okay, some more moves this week in the Brasileirão. The big one out of Palmeiras, the league leaders. Matias Binha is out. The left back, is on his way to Europe. He's going to go play for José Mourinho in the Serie A. He's going to Roma for a fee of 14 million. And he has signed until June of 2026 with the Rossoneri. And that is a huge sale for Palmeiras, as he is marketed. He has a market value of 5.6 million. Roma pay 14 million for him. Excuse me. Also, big news, and this guy, I mean, he just finished about 36 hours ago. Just finished winning the Olympic gold medal, which we haven't even talked about the Olympics on this show. I meant to. Perhaps I'll get to that today, because it does, in fact, it actually involves Brazil. So we'll hit it at the end of this segment. Actually, we'll talk briefly about it. Brazil wins the gold medal. Claudinho, last year's top player, if I'm not mistaken, one of the best players in Brasileirão, a guy I tipped to really blow up this season with Bragantino. Well, it's not going to happen. Red Bull Bragantino have sold Claudinho. He never even came back from Japan. It's sad. I know the team's doing well overall, hitting the skids a little bit, but Bragantino has sold Claudinho, a player valued at 9 million. He has been sold to the Russian Premier League, to Zenit St. Petersburg, the defending champions, for a fee of 17 million. A big profit for the side from Bragança Paulista. And Claudinho has signed with Zenit for until June 2026 as well. Again, 17 million is the price tag, and that is US, I'm pretty sure, that he has gone to Zenit for from Red Bull Bragantino. Also a move, Juventude yesterday signed Operário Ferroviários Ricardo Bueno. He came over on a free. He signs until December 2022. Atlético Paranaense send Denner on loan to Chapecoense until the end of the season. Lucas Esteves of Palmeiras, he goes on loan to Major League Soccer's Colorado Rapids. The left winger will now be a teammate of my former player, Dominic Baji, a guy I coached back in the USL. Very excited to see Colorado, start to make some moves. And Lucas Esteves has gone on loan until June of 2022. That's an odd time for a deal in Major League Soccer, but perhaps the Colorado Rapids or Major League Soccer will exercise some sort of buyout clause at that point, or some sort of first option to buy in June of 2022. Nicolas Hernandez has come to Atlético Paranaense on a free. He's come from Portuguese second division side Nacional, and he signs until June 2022 as well. Leo Chu of Grêmio, for a fee of 3 million. Leo Chu leaves Grêmio. He's going to Major League Soccer as well. Now going to Seattle Sounders. $3 million, as we said, is the price tag, and he has signed with Seattle Sounders until December 2024. Rafael Linguini has left Santos. He has gone on a free to Operário Ferroviário in Serie B, and no other real notable transfers right now. Miguel Borja, actually, this is another notable one. The Colombian has left Palmeiras. He's going to Grêmio. He has a market value of 4.1. He's going on loan to Grêmio. So Palmeiras shedding some of that excess baggage right now, loaning Miguel Borja, the striker, to Grêmio. Grêmio really, really struggling right now. They can use all the help they can get. So they're going to get a little help here from Palmeiras. Those are some of the main transfers this week. And right now, before we move on to this week, let's go back to last week for a second. Let's revisit the Brasileirão Team of the Week for round 14. I'm going to put that up on the screen for those of you watching right now, courtesy of our own homepage, the www.parkingthebusmedia.com page. You can find it there now. It is right under the video of yesterday's episode 68. It is the Brasileirão Team of the Week, week 14. As you can see it there, it starts with Santos' goalie, João Paulo. He's in goal for this week. The Sofa Score, of course, is the site that produces this team based on their rankings. This week, the rankings select a 3-4-1-2. In front of João Paulo, they have Atlético Mineiro's Nathan Silva as the right center back. Leo Ortiz of Red Bull Bragantino in the center position, center back, or the deep lying center back. Well, Kaique of Santos is the left center back. 4 in midfield, like we said. Mariano of Atlético Mineiro is the right midfielder. Bruno Prachete is a very good player, guy that's really making a name for himself this season for Red Bull Bragantino. He's in there with the 7.8 rating. Barayas of, I believe he's from Sport Recife, 8.1, while Fortaleza's David has a 7.6. Flamengo's Georgian Arrascaeta, the Uruguayan, pulled an 8.5 in round 14. He is in the team of the week in the number 10 position, and in front it is Cearás Rick with the 7.8, and of course Flamengo's Gabigol with the 7.6. That is the team of the week for this week, and or for last week, I should say. And obviously, congratulations to those guys. If you want to see it, it is up on www.parkingthebusmedia.com. I'm going to start putting the Brasileirão Team of the Week there every week, and you'll be able to catch up on it there. Okay, let's get to round 15. That's where we stand tonight, as we have all the matches, as I said, but one complete. One match to play. That's going to be Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So it'll be over by the time you watch this, essentially, but it's not over in time for recording. So it is Grêmio hosting Chapecoense, interestingly enough. And they will be playing at home in the Arena Grêmio. So we go back to Friday's results. Friday started off the round. It was Sport Recife at home against Red Bull Bragantino, and another disappointing result for Red Bull Bragantino, a team that I have been very high on. As you know, I have told everyone to watch them this season, and they got off to a great start. And then once the Copa Sudamericana came into play, once they started to have to manage and rotate the squad, they've dropped points. Continue to drop points. Yes, they got Copa Sudamericana coming up, and I guess that's where their focus is, because again, 2 points dropped. 2 points I think they should get on the road at Sport Recife. And the other team I said at the outset to watch for continue to slide as well. Third defeat in 5 for Atlético Paranaense. Antonio Oliveira is now starting to feel some of the pressure from the supporters and from the media in Curitiba, in the state of Paraná, as Atlético Paranaense lose 2-1 at home to São Paulo on their artificial surface. The tricolor from São Paulo come in and take all 3 points. Also on Saturday, you had Cuiabá taking on Bahia 1-1. They share the spoils there. Now, the big game Saturday night was in the state of São Paulo. It was at the Allianz Arena, or the Allianz Park, as it's called in São Paulo. Of course, that means I'm talking about the Verdão. I'm talking about Palmeiras. They're hosting Fortaleza, one of the surprises of the season as well. Palmeiras, the leaders to start out the week. And let's take a look at the lineups here, starting with the leaders. Palmeiras, managed, of course, by the Portuguese manager Abel Ferreira. In goal, they have Weverton, returns after some long duty essentially on the bench for Copa America. He was behind Ederson and Alisson. He played in one match of the 7 that Brazil played at Copa America. The right back is Maike, as Gabriel Menino still away at the Olympics at the time that they played this. Luan Garcia is the center back, along with Gustavo Gomez, and Renan Victor is the left back. Double pivot in midfield, as is accustomed. Patrick teams with Zé Rafael, 3 attacking mids in front of them. It's Rafael Veiga in the number 10 position, with Gustavo Scarpa, one of the most informed players in the league right now. He is going down the right attacking midfield side. Wesley down the left. And the striker playing in front of them is Willian. For Fortaleza, the team managed by Juan Pablo Voivoda, he comes out in a 3-5-2. Marcelo Bock is the goalkeeper of Boeck. He's the 3 defenders in front of him. Tinga on the right. TT, the central defender, and the left center back is Marcelo Conceição. 5 in midfield. The wide right wing back is, of course, the very highly touted and someone I have talked about for quite some time here. It's Iago Pikachu. He's playing as the right wing back. Lucas Crispim is the left wing back, with the 3-man center midfield tandem of Felipe in the hole, Mateus to his right, and Jussa to his left. 2 attackers. It's Romarinho and Robson for Fortaleza. This match had everything. It got out to a flying start, let me tell you. An absolute flying start. It was in the 12th minute. TT, the center back, inadvertently puts the ball into his own goal. That's right. TT picks up the own goal. And Palmeiras take the lead at the Allianz Park on their artificial surface. But 6 minutes later, it didn't take long. It was Marcelo Conceição, the left center back, gets on the end of a ball, and he gets the equalizer. That is in the 18th minute, and his equalizer comes courtesy. It actually was unassisted. So it is Marcelo Conceição getting an unassisted goal here in the 18th minute. In the 21st, Renan Victor of Palmeiras picks up a yellow card. He goes in the referee's book. 25th minute, only 7 minutes after equalizing. The visitors go ahead. Fortaleza take the lead thanks to Robson, and it is 2-1. But before you can blink, 9 minutes later, the Verdão, the Copa America winners, the current holders of the Copa America title, pull level. Who else? Willian on an assist from Gustavo Scarpa. I told you he is in form right now. Gustavo Scarpa, excuse me. It's 2-2 after 34. In the 36th, Felipe goes in the book for Fortaleza. In the 45th, it's Zé Rafael's turn to see the yellow card before halftime for Flamengo. Come out in the second half, and we got a whole host of substitutions here on the hour mark. Dudu replaces Wesley for Abel Ferreira's side, excuse me. Palmeiras also bring in Victor Luis for Renan Victor, and Gabriel Veron replaces Gustavo Scarpa. All 3 substitutions made on the hour mark. 4 minutes later, Fortaleza counter. Wellington Paulista replaces Robson, and Igor Torres replaces Romarinho. Remember the name Torres, okay? 71st minute, just after Palmeiras had subbed in Daverson for Willian. It is Felipe the holding midfielder, the number 6, the volante, the trinco, the pivot, he goes into the referee's book for a second time. Sees his second yellow. He is off, given his marching orders, and Felipe gets an early shower. Fortaleza down to 10. But it's not over yet. The 73rd minute, Luis Adriano comes on for Rafael Veiga. And Palmeiras look like they are the team much more likely to nab a winner here. They are the league leaders, playing at home after all. And in the 73rd, Fortaleza try to counter. Ederson comes in for Mateus, and Bruno Melo replaces Lucas Crispim. Victor Luis sees a yellow card in the 78th minute. That's an important one to remember. In the 84th, Patrick sees a yellow card. But in the 90th, it's Victor Luis again. But no, it's not scoring a goal. It's picking up his second yellow card. And just like that, Palmeiras are down to 10. We're playing 10 v 10. 8 minutes of stoppage time given. And in the 90th plus 5. And what was one of the most beautiful plays I have seen in quite some time. Okay, quite some time. Bruno Melo on his horses, sprinting, keeps the ball in with a last gasp effort, and just absolutely sprints it down, chases it down, keeps it in play. Palmeiras don't close him down. He switches the ball on a long diagonal. I mean, a long diagonal. Picture perfect, right onto the foot of who else? Iago Pikachu. Pikachu brings it down with unbelievable class. And then he beats the defenders. He beats Luan in the back on the dribble, gains the inline, starts to come towards goal, slides it back into the open space. The central defenders are beaten. The ball finds, I told you to remember this guy, Igor Torres, the substitute, and he buries it past Weverton. Fortaleza steal a winner in the 90th plus 5. It's an upset at the Park Allianz. It is an upset. The leaders lose at home on the verge, again, perhaps guilty of looking forward towards Copa Libertadores. And it is Fortaleza 3, Palmeiras 2. Fortaleza take all 3 points. Upset here. And it was a tough weekend, like I said, for the teams at the top of the table. That brings us to today's matches. And we start off earlier today. América Mineiro winning at home against Fluminense. And Fluminense continue to struggle. They continue to struggle. Of course, they already played their first round leg of the Copa Libertadores quarterfinals. I'll talk about that in the next segment. But struggling to find results right now, in a dip of form. Perhaps they don't have the depth to be battling on all these fronts at once. But, again, very difficult. They pick up a loss to América Mineiro. Juventude host the other side from Minas Gerais. It's Juventude hosting Atlético Mineiro. And Atlético with the chance to go top of the table. That's right, Atlético with the chance to go top of the table, and they do not let it squander. Atlético Mineiro pick up the victory on the road. They win 2-1 at Juventude. And just like that, we have a new leader in Brasileirão. It is Atlético Mineiro. Remember, they were there last year. Okay, they led for quite a while last season. Last season, they were managed by Sampaoli. This season, managed by Cuca. And Cuca's got them in first place right now. And certainly, the Galo are very ecstatic. The supporters of the Galo are over the moon right now. They just want to fill the Mineirão. They just want to get in the stadium and support their team. Right now, still no supporters in Brazil. Of course, the COVID situation in Brazil, not good. And right now they're just battling and just trying to see it through. But in the foreseeable future, I don't think there's going to be supporters. And it's a shame for such a well-supported club as Atlético Mineiro. The Galo go take over the top spot with a 2-1 win on the road at Juventude. In the state of São Paulo, we have a local derby. It is Santos taking on Corinthians, and it does not live up to any of the hype as the two sides remain at null. and they cancel each other out. A 0-0 draw for Santos and for Corinthians. Also a 0-0 for Ceará and Atlético Goianense, bringing up to the marquee match of yesterday, of Sunday. It is Flamengo back at the Maracanã, hosting the team they beat at the finish line last season, hosting Internacional de Porto Alegre. Remember last year in the penultimate round of the season, in the Beira Rio, in the home stadium of the Colorado, the home stadium of Internacional de Porto Alegre, Flamengo went in there and won. They pulled an upset and won, and they put themselves, and basically, actually, that was the win that won them the Brasileirão last season. That was the win that gave them their second straight Brasileirão title, because on the final day of the season, neither team won. So Inter was not able to catch them. How would it go last night at the Maracanã? Okay, again, also nobody in the house as usual. The lineups, starting with the home side, managed by Renato Gaúcho. Renato Gaúcho is undefeated going into this match as the manager of Flamengo. They just won on midweek against ABC in the Copa do Brasil, advancing to the quarterfinals of the Copa do Brasil. But then they came into this one, I think, looking ahead to Copa Libertadores. And in the end, I think they pay the price here. But Renato Gaúcho sends out a 4-2-3-1. Diego Alves is the goalkeeper. The Chile international Mauricio Isla is the right back. Gustavo Henrique and Leo Pereira, the center backs, with Felipe Luis as the left back, the double pivot. Willy Arão and Diego in the center of the park, playing behind three attacking midfielders. Georgian de Rascaeta in the number 10 position. Everton Ribeiro to his right. Bruno Henrique to his left. And the one and only Gabigol as the striker. No reason for this team to put this type of performance in. That is as close to the best 11 as you can get without selecting the best. If there's any question there, maybe it's a different pair of center backs. But even then, this is the first choice team for Renato Gaúcho. And I honestly don't know what happened here. Let's go to Internacional's lineup for their manager, Diego Aguirre, the goalkeeper, Daniel, in a 4-2-3-1, the four in the back. Renato Saravia is the right back. Bruno Mendes and Victor Cuesta are the center back pairing, with Paulo Victor as the left back. Double pivot in midfield for them as well. The two teams mirror each other with the same exact system of play. Rodrigo Lindoso and Rodrigo Dorado are the double pivot, playing in front of the magician Tyson. I love this player. Tyson is one of my favorites. I loved watching him at Shakhtar Donetsk when he was playing in the Ukraine. He was a very, very good player in the Ukrainian Premier League. Played very well in the UEFA Champions League and in the Europa League for them. He's wearing the number 10. He's playing in the number 10. And he's got Eddie Nielsen to his right and Patrick to his left. And they're playing behind the striker, Yuri Alberto. Remember that name. Yuri Alberto has himself a career matchup tonight. Or last night, excuse me. And in the 19th minute, it got started. It was Yuri Alberto with the goal in the 19th, but he didn't stop there. 41st, it's Yuri Alberto again. 70th, Yuri Alberto again. In between those last two, there's a 55th minute goal from Tyson. Yeah, Internacional goes into the Maracanã and wins 4-0. A big shock because Internacional struggling this season. They're near the bottom of the table. They're not much better than the Porto Alegre rivals, Grêmio. And this is a shocker. I mean, Flamengo, with the golden opportunity to catch the teams in front of them, the golden opportunity to shorten the distance with Palmeiras, knowing Palmeiras had lost sight of what they were doing. I think we're thinking ahead to Olympia already in the Copa Libertadores, and instead find themselves taking the worst beating that I can remember Flamengo taking in some time. It is Renato Gaúcho's first defeat, and Internacional just absolutely blew them off the pitch today. What a performance from Yuri Alberto here on the FOT Mob. They give him a rating of 9.6. That is damn near perfect. You can bet he'll be in the next team of the week next season. Probably the player of the week in the Brasileirão this weekend. And it is Internacional. What a weekend. Again, the big teams fall. Palmeiras and Flamengo lose at home on a crucial weekend right before Copa Libertadores play, while the Copa Sudamericana sides, Red Bull Bragantino and Atlético Paranaense, also drop points. And Grêmio's playing tomorrow, but they've already been eliminated from the Sudamericana, if I'm not mistaken. But again, teams are just trying to figure out how to handle this fixture congestion now. It is something that is a lot more difficult in South America than it is in Europe. You don't have the same depth in your squads, okay? You have to go to under 20 players or to B team, not B team, but under U20, U23 players if you need squad rotation. And Flamengo opting not to rotate the squad and instead take a thumping, which can very much affect their confidence going into the Libertadores this weekend. This week, I should see, this midweek. Well, on the other hand, Palmeiras also playing with what they had. I mean, they used the best guys available, and they lose right at the death to Fortaleza, which, you know, is a good team, but it's still, I think, if you're Palmeiras and you're the champion of South America, you want to be the Brazilian League champion, the Brasileirão winner. You have to take care of business, even against Fortaleza, even on the eve of a continental matchup. But on this weekend, it was upset weekend, and it belonged to the smaller teams. So let's take a look then at the table now in the Brasileirão, as we are 15 rounds in now. And again, with just one match to play, Atlético Mineiro takes over the number one spot this week. They have 34 points from 15 matches. Palmeiras second with 30, also from 32, also from 15 matches. With 30 is Fortaleza, the surprise, one of the shock sides, one of the upstarts, one of the pleasant surprises in Brasileirão. Very much on the back of Iago Pikachu. They are in third place with 30. They're only 4 points behind Atlético Mineiro right now for the lead. They're right there in striking distance, and the top four is rounded out by Red Bull Bragantino, 28 points from 15 matches. They are four better than Flamengo, who are in fifth, but Flamengo have 2 matches in hand. They've only played 13. They have 24 points from those 13 matches. Atlético Paranaense, my other side to watch, right now hanging on in 6th place. They've played 14 matches, so they have 1 in hand on the top four. They have 23 points right now. 7th belongs to Ceará, 23 points as well. Santos and Atlético Goianense share 8th and 9th. They've each got 20 points. Bahia is 10th with 18. Internacional climb all the way to 11th. They now have 18 as well, as does Corinthians in 12th. 17 points for Fluminense, like I said, struggling. Fluminense is falling out of the Sudamericana spots right now. 17 points from 14 matches. Juventude are in 14th with 16 points from 14 matches. Sport Recife, 15 points, 15 matches, 1 point per match. They are averaging their 15th. They are only 1 point above the relegation zone right now. As São Paulo are in 16th. They have climbed their way out with their win this week over Paranaense. São Paulo now have 15 points from 15 matches as well. They are 16th, and they are 1 point better than América Mineiro, who are 17th right now in the drop zone. The same amount of points as Cuiabá in 18th. Grêmio, one of the giants, not that long ago, they won the Copa Libertadores, and they now find themselves in 19th place with only 7 points, but they've only played 12 matches. They have 3 in hand on the first team in safety, which is São Paulo. So even though they are 8 points behind, if they win their 3 in hand, they're safe. They go into the safe zone. That's a big ask for a team that has only one win. And unfortunately, it is Chapecoense in the cellar right now, 20th place, 4 points. Let's look at the top goal scorers right now in the Brasileirão Serie A, and we have five players sharing the number one spot. 5 players with 7 goals apiece. Bruno Henrique of Flamengo, Robson of Fortaleza, Gilberto of Bahia, Hulk of Atlético Mineiro, and Mateus Peixoto of Juventude. Next in 6th and 7th place is Red Bull's Italo with 6, and Inter's Eden Nielsen with 6 as well. Next week's fixtures, or the next round's fixtures in the Brasileirão, it starts off Saturday with an early match, and these are in U.S. Eastern time. These times are in Eastern time. Red Bull Bragantino and Juventude at 4 p.m. on Saturday. Remember, all these matches available to stream on Paramount Plus here in the United States. So if you're not a subscriber to Paramount Plus yet and you are a football fan, what are you waiting for? They have the Champions League. They have the Europa League. They have the Europa Conference. They're in 2 weeks' time, they got the Italian Serie A. They have the Brasileirão, and they have the Argentine League. If you're not subscribed yet, it is $5 a month, my friends. $5 a month for all that action. This is not a paid ad. This is me telling you to go out there. If you love this game, go get Paramount Plus. They do a great job. And again, all these matches available on Paramount Plus. 6 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, Atlético Mineiro host Palmeiras, first versus second. This is a monster matchup. My DVR is set. I can't wait to see this one Saturday, 6 p.m. It's going to be very, very exciting as the Verdão travel to the Mineirão, and second travels to first, and see which team takes control of the table after this massive matchup. And then in the nightcap Saturday, São Paulo hosting Grêmio at the Morumbi. And then on Sunday, we have a whole slate of matches. We've got 6 on Sunday, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern time with Corinthians versus Ceará, Flamengo versus Sport Recife. At 5:15, we have Bahia taking on Atlético Goianiense and Cuiabá taking on Atlético Paranaense, as well as Fortaleza taking on Santos. Can Fortaleza keep their form going next week? We shall wait and see. Internacional Porto Alegre, fresh off their big victory in the Maracanã over Flamengo, will next week host Flamengo's arch rivals and Carioca rivals and fellow Maracanã tenants, Fluminense at the Beira Rio, of course. And then on Monday, August the 16th, Chapecoense hosting América Mineiro. That's going to do it for Brasileirão this week. I'm going to take another short pause. When we come back, we're going to talk about Copa Libertadores. Okay, we're going to take a look at the quarterfinals coming up this week, and we're going to look at Copa Sudamericana as well. It'll be a quick one. I'll be back in just a few moments for you on the video. If you're listening on the podcast, I'll be back even quicker. And welcome back. Parking the Bus, episode 69. Let's move now to Copa Libertadores. We're at the quarterfinal stage of my favorite tournament, maybe of all the tournaments in club football, maybe even more so than the UEFA Champions League, just to the less predictability that you get in South America. And in South America, you just never know. Even if you get a 3 or 4-0 first leg, it's never over in the Libertadores. Let's take a look at the fixture list, okay? One match played last week, like I said, last Tuesday. Fluminense 1-0 winners at the Maracanã over Cerro Porteño. The Paraguayan side unable to get a result in Rio last week. And now tomorrow on Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time at the Morumbi. It's an all-Brazil affair as São Paulo hosts the defending champions Palmeiras. This could be a very, very spectacular matchup, as both teams have ambitions to lift this trophy. São Paulo are going to try to forget about their domestic form. They're going to focus solely on this match, these 90 minutes in their stadium, and try to set themselves up and put themselves in prime position to advance to the semifinals. It's getting close to crunch time. We're starting to separate the contenders from the pretenders in the Copa Libertadores. Wednesday, a 6:15 Eastern time kickoff. And it is in Paraguay as well. It is Olimpia taking on Flamengo. This match will be, of course, on BN Sports. If you have the BN Sport Connect, you'll have it. It's on BN Espanol. If you don't, hopefully you have that, because it is well worth it. If you need it, go subscribe to Fanatis USA. You can get it for, like, again, another $6 or $7. You can get Fanatis USA. You can get the Copa Libertadores and the Brasileirão there as well. As Olimpia host Flamengo. Flamengo going to need to turn this ship around. It's only one loss, and how they react to that one loss is going to be crucial. They can either, dwell on it and fall further, or they can go out and take out their frustration on Olimpia. Either one, very, very possible. So much talent in this Flamengo team. Like I said, in South America, it's never over, and anybody can beat anybody. Anybody can even slaughter anybody, and it's not as uncommon in South America as it is in Europe, for example, to have a 3-0 first leg and then the other team win 3-0 in the second leg. We'll see how Flamengo does with the travel, see how they do on the road here against Olimpia. And then in the late game on Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, River Plate, the 2018 champions, River Plate, they are going to take on Atlético Mineiro, the new Brasileirão leaders. Atlético just knocked out River Plate's arch rivals, or arch enemy even, Boca Juniors, in the round of 16 on penalties. And now they are going to go after the next Argentine giant. They're going to try to keep slaying the Argentines, this one in Argentina. River Plate versus Atlético Mineiro. Marcelo Gallardo versus Cuca in the battle of managers. And there's a lot of stardom on display, a lot of very good players in this match. And there's a good chance it's going to get physical too, and there's going to be some real hard tackles. I think there's going to be some yellow cards flying. There's going to be some VAR reviews, and there's going to be some coaches or some players trying to obstruct the referee's view of looking at the screen in the VAR review. One of the things that really entertained me about South American football, Latin American football, to be honest, it happens here in CONCACAF as well as it happened in the final of the CONCACAF Nations League, where Tata Martino tried to step in front of the referee and prevent him from checking the VAR monitor. I love the football from this side of the world. Let me tell you, I've fallen in love with it over the last couple of years, and I truly get excited for these matches. And then Thursday you have Fluminense playing against. Okay, so I got to take that back. Fluminense's matchup last week was a second leg tie. Okay, so Fluminense will play Barcelona this Thursday. So that was a second leg tie. That was completing the round of 16. I thought it was an early play into the quarterfinals. It wasn't. It was a round of 16 match because this Thursday you've got Fluminense at home at the Maracanã hosting Barcelona Guayaquil, one of my favorite teams from the group stage. They've played so well this season in this competition, and they're going to try hard to break the Brazilian monopoly in this competition. Very, very possible that we get 4 Brazilian teams in the last 4 of the Copa Libertadores this year. Both Barcelona and River Plate especially are going to try to prevent that. Olympia as well too, but I think Barcelona and River Plate a little better prepared to take on the Brazilian Giants. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is this round of the Copa Libertadores. Let's take a look quickly at the Copa Sudamericana, with quarterfinal matches starting tomorrow night, Tuesday night, if you will. As I'm going to pull that up right now, just switching screens. And Copa Sudamericana, here we go. Here are the fixtures. Starts Tuesday in Argentina, in the beautiful city of Rosario. It is Rosario Central hosting Red Bull Bragantino, 6:15 Eastern Time. Available also on the BN Sports family of channels. As Bragantino need to snap out of their little bit of a slump they've been in. And I think they're very focused on this competition and have been dropping points due to their focus on this competition. Has caused their domestic form to suffer. But I think Bragantino are going into this one with all kinds of motivation. And I know they want to turn this around. I don't doubt it for a minute. Yes, they just lost Claudinho, but they really haven't had him all season. He's been away with this Brazil Olympic team the whole time. He's played very little in this edition of the Brasileirão. And now they got $17 million more to work with. But I like Bragantino in this one. I think they're going to beat Rosario Central, even in Argentina. But we'll have to wait and see. Another quarterfinal on Wednesday. Sporting Cristal taking on Peñarol of Uruguay. And that match will be played in Peru. And then Thursday, the other 2 quarterfinals. You got Liga de Quito hosting Atlético Paranaense at 6:15. And then the late game on Thursday is Santos of Brazil also hosting Libertad. That match will be played in Brazil. And again, you're not going to get a Final 4 Brazilian team, all Brazil Final 4 in this competition, because you have Sporting Cristal versus Peñarol. So they guarantees one non-Brazilian team in the last 4. But the Brazilian League really with an opportunity this week and over this round to assert their dominance in the region. If they get 4, they've got 7 teams right now playing in the last 8 of the 2 competitions. So 7 in total out of 16 teams still playing are Brazilian. This league is absolutely asserting its dominance right now, and we'll be interested to see what happens this week. All right, real quick, let's check out Liga Argentina and see where the league is at this early stage. And right now we're in the Liga Profesional. As hold on here. I have the table in front of me, but let's take a look at the fixtures first. Why don't we? Just another moment here. Also, there was Copa Argentina this past week. A very spirited, but offensive lacking Super Clásico. In this round of 16, it was Boca hosting River Plate. Hosting, I say, but playing in a borrowed stadium, as Boca would prevail on penalty kicks in that Copa Argentina matchup and advance to the quarterfinals. Let's take a look, though, at the league now. I've got the fixture list up. Here's what happened this past weekend. 3 matches to play, though, tonight, Monday night. But it started on Friday. It was Sarmiento at home hosting Rosario Central. Yep, Sarmiento with the win. I just said that I like Bragantino to beat Rosario Central. They lose on Friday, so they go into this match on the wrong end. Also on Friday, Newell's Old Boys 1-0 victors over Club Atlético Platense. Saturday, Banfield 0, Talleres 1, Union 4, San Lorenzo 0. That's a little bit of a surprising heavy result. Huracan 0, Lanús 1, Godoy Cruz 2, River Plate 1. Las Gallinas lose again. Los Millonarios drop another result. Gimnasia La Plata on Sunday, 1-0 winners over Atletico Tucumán. And also Vélez Sarsfield hosting Colón. They lose to Colón, 1-0 at home. Boca Juniors 1, Argentinos Juniors 1, Independiente 1, Racing 0. And then Monday's matchups, as these will be over by the time you watch this. But you had Aldo Civi hosting Defensa y Justicia at 5 o'clock Eastern time. Also, Arsenal Sarandi hosting Patronato de Paraná at 5 o'clock as well. And then Central Córdoba hosts Estudiantes La Plata. Let's look at the table in Argentina. 5 rounds complete now. Independiente are the leaders with 11 points. Lanús, Newell's Old Boys, and Colón next with 10 points each. 5th place belongs to Godoy Cruz with 9. Racing is 6th with 8, as is Gimnasia La Plata in 7th. But they also have 8, and so do San Lorenzo in 8th. River Plate right now in 9th place. They have 7 points, same as 10th place Patronato de Paraná, 11th place Talleres, and 12th place Atlético Tucumán. In 13th place Estudiantes La Plata with 6 points. Argentino Juniors also with 6 points. In 14th, Banfield 15th. They also have 6, as do Aldo Civi in 16th and Sarmiento in 17th. Central Córdoba de Santiago are 18th with 5 points. Unión also on 5 points in 19th. Huracan in 20th as well, with 5 points, just like the teams in front of them. Now a group with 4 points. There's 3 of them and 3 pretty big names. 21st is Defensa y Justicia. 22nd is the champions, the defending champions, Boca Juniors. 4 points from 5 matches. Is Miguel Ángel Russo in trouble there? Is his job in trouble? Just not playing well, this Boca Juniors team. And they're really, really struggling. They've been knocked out of the Libertadores. And now they are in 22nd place in the league. Not acceptable for the Geneise. And they've really got to turn it around. And they've really got to go on a run here and climb that table if they want to accomplish anything this season. Arsenal Sarandi round out the teams with 4 points. They're 23rd. Vélez Sarsfield and Rosario Central have 3 points each from 5 matches. And in last place, Club Atlético Platense, 2 points from 5 matches. Let's take a look then at these stats and the top scorers in this competition, in this league, the Liga Profesional. Jose Sand is in first place of Lanús. He has 6 goals. Miguel Castro of Estudiantes has 4. Nicolas de la Cruz of River Plate, Ramiro Carrera of Racing, and Martin Ojeda of Talleres are next with 3 goals each, and then a whole slew of guys with 2 goals. And that brings us to the end of another episode of Parking the Bus. This has been episode 69. I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. Hope everyone enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter. I am at Mike Agustinho. That's at MikeAgostinho. Follow the show on Twitter as well, at PTB_media. Also follow it on Instagram. The Instagram's not been as active lately, but at some point I have to change that, start building it back up. Also, make sure you go over to www.parkingthebusmedia.com. Check out the website. Give it a few hits for me. I got the team of the week from the Brasileirão up there as well as a video of the previous episode. And I've got, if you scroll just a little bit, I've got the playlist where you can relive Euro 2020 right there. All of the episodes from Euro 2020 are up on the website. Go check it out. Okay. Still to come this week is a North American episode, if you will. It is a Liga MX, MLS, CONCACAF Champions League heavy episode. I'll go through all that later this week. Look for it in your feed. Make sure you subscribe right down there. Okay, make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, on Apple, on CastBox, wherever you listen to this show. And make sure you're alerted so you know when the next episode drops. It's going to drop real soon. And we've got CONCACAF Champions League this week as well. Enjoy the Copa Libertadores, those of you that are going to watch it. I hope you're going to watch it. I hope you give this competition a chance. It's very exciting, very fun. So tons of football this week, guys. Tons of football. Enjoy it, all right? I did say I would finish this out. Brazil, winners of the men's Olympic gold medal in football. They beat Spain in extra time on Saturday. Saturday night in Japan, Saturday morning here in the United States. A big result. A team that featured a number of Brasileirão players. I've said before, I've been critical of the Olympics. It's not a big competition to me, but clearly to this Brazil team that broke into tears immediately at the final whistle, it meant a lot to them. On the women's side, congratulations to Canada. Canada eliminate the massive favorites, the United States, in the semifinals and then go ahead and win on penalties in the final. In the gold medal match, they beat Sweden on penalties. Congratulations to Canada, your Tokyo 2020 Olympic women's football champions, the first gold medal, first championship of any kind for Canada. Congratulations to all involved. The summer of football is now complete, I think, as we now move into what is kind of the fall. Even though the calendar says it's summer, all of the summer tournaments are done, and all of the seasons are either resuming in the Southern Hemisphere or starting up in the Northern Hemisphere, as well as here in Major League Soccer, which never stopped other than for, I think, 2 weeks during the Gold Cup. So enjoy your football wherever you're watching it, okay? Any questions, concerns, comments, again, hit me up on Twitter at Mike Agostinho, at MikeAgostinho, or just drop it in my DMs on Instagram on the show page at PTB_media. I'll see you next time for episode 70. Like I said, we'll talk Liga MX, MLS, CONCACAF Champions League. And don't forget, every Sunday live on the feed is the Sunday night show. We'll be back next Sunday for that live. And I hope everyone has a good week. Like I said, enjoy all the football you get this week, and enjoy your week, and have a good week, and get through it. And on the weekend, we will talk again. But like I said, one more episode to come to you this week at some point, covering those leagues. All right. That's it from me. I'm the Mr. Mike Agostinho, and I'm signing off, and I will see you next time here on the PTB Media Network. This has been Parking the Bus.